And that's why I really want to start off the show with this topic, was because I thought it would go right into all the data points that we wanted to speak on later. But to Chris's point, the American dream always started off with, the ability to own land. And now it has evolved into other things too, right? No matter what walk of life you come from, you should be able, with determination and hard work, you can be successful, you can own a home, you can have a great job, and just provide a better life for you and your family.
Yeah,
Right?
and I'll modify it a little bit from a financial perspective and just from the way our expectations of life have evolved. I would say life, liberty, pursuit of happiness now means, in the context of what we think of American life now, is the ability to build wealth,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
But I think that for most Americans, that feels wildly out of reach at a time where you can see other people's wealth, real or not.
Yes, exactly. And that a huge part as to, before me coming on and joining this show, right, was the reason why I chose to not be on social media, right? Because I just wanted to stay away from that because I know it was very toxic, right? And
So you stuck solely to OnlyFans. Then.
just the OnlyFans.
By the way, we never talked about this, but you know how many times I've tried to advertise our shows
On OnlyFans?
No. Like, we should probably do that too. But we get flagged on YouTube for like the most outrageous stuff.
I swear to God, I don't zero appreciation for what we bring to the table.
Watch, I can get this entire show
Don't do it.
disqualified for advertising.
Don't. This is a good
I'm gonna say
episode.
one word.
This is a good episode.
Peptide. Done.
Why did you
It's
do
gone.
it?
I have to bleep it out.
Right. All right, but we're not doomsayers, right? We're not saying that it is in fact dead. We're just bringing it into question. We're also, we want the listeners to be able to confide in us, knowing that we understand the struggle. We understand that what everyone's going through, even though you might see things on social media, I've never seen more McLarens on the road than I have these days. It's getting out of control.
Yeah, Southern California is a tough spot, man.
It's wild, bro.
So the outside of my office is that big Lifetime fitness facility.
It's every influencer and their mom goes there.
And they all walk in with selfie sticks. And I don't know if you ever worked out there. I made the mistake of going there once to grab food.
Hmm.
And it is like a comedic video you see on YouTube about influencers, but it's real life. People will have those selfie poles. They'll put them on the floor. They'll angle it towards like the lie down glute machine, or
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll lie down face flat, and they'll do like their booty like leg curl thing, and you're just like, oh my God.
Right.
And it's everywhere. But out front, Cullinans, Spectres, you got Lambos, you got Ferraris, you got McLarens.
Right.
And you're like, what are y'all doing?
This isn't real life. And not to mention they're all there for multiple hours in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Right? Like what kind of jobs y'all got? Like I don't understand what's going on.
There's only one person whose car I see there a lot that I'm like, okay, I get why you're there, and that's Joey Swole.
I don't know who Joey Swole is.
Stop.
I'm sorry. Who is that?
Come on, man.
Who's that? Who's Joey Swole?
The classiest guy in the gym you ever gonna meet, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's the king of gym etiquette.
Okay.
His whole thing on social media, shout out to Joey. He lives obviously nearby, but he was way back in the day. He was a shreds guy.
Oh, okay.
But he's always been jacked. He's a super kind-headed, hard-hearted teddy bear. He looks like a badass because he's just huge.
Yeah.
But he found a new niche for himself on social media. Kind of reinvented himself a little bit, where people will post themselves doing things in the gyms, and then he will literally tell you why that's wildly inappropriate. Like the number one offender for him, people taking video of themselves in a gym, in a public space, but getting upset when other people walk by them in the video.
Yeah.
And he's like, who do you think you are that you own a gym? Like, that is wildly disrespectful.
Right.
Or his biggest pet peeve, I think, is probably the people taking gym selfies in the locker room with other people's, like, nudity being exposed, or complete disregard for other
Right.
people's, just privacy.
Right. I know I know we're sidetracking here just a little bit, but
What?
on
this show?
On this show. I know you're at a different stage in life now, and maybe different than how you used to handle the situation. But if somebody were to come up to you at the gym now, I know because now you just want to get in, get out. You got a family waiting for you at home. But if they ask you, "Hey, do you mind if I work in?"
This literally just happened to me yesterday.
Okay, so what's the response now? Because I know back in the day for me, I was always, yeah, of course, sure, no problem. Because I know it's gonna be awkward if I say no to you. Now every time we walk in, it's this awkwardness. My only beef with it back in the day was if you ask to work in and you adjust the weights, you gotta adjust the weights back.
So I'm okay. There's no nice. I'm gonna sound like a bad person. Okay, I recognize this. So yesterday, I'll use this as an example, and this is a huge pet peeve for me. All right,
Asking you to work in?
don't do it. Do not do it.
Well, yeah, you got because you also have the big FU headphones on.
I got the big studio Beats by Dre. I got a hat on. I wear oversized baggy clothes.
Public service announcement: if someone's wearing big headphones, don't talk to them.
It's the universal sign for do not. And if I have to take my headphones off to hear what you're saying to me, now you're just fucking with me.
You're getting a visceral response.
Yeah. So this very nice looking gentleman comes up to me, and you can tell he's eyeing the leg machine that I'm on.
What made him so nice looking?
I'm on the leg press, huh?
What made him so nice looking? You said he's nice looking.
Because I'm pretty sure he wasn't trying to be rude, right? He wasn't trying to be malicious, and he looked like he understood gym etiquette, right? And he had a bag, and you could just tell like he wanted to be on that machine.
He had been in there a while. He'd been in the gym. Okay.
He knows the culture. This is not a new guy, right?
Got it.
So he's looking over at this leg press machine that I'm on, and I have a leg press machine that I'm doing. Here's what I do. This is very common for me. I do circuits on everything that I do because I got 40 minutes in out.
Circuits?
Yeah. So I'll do wide leg press. I'll do narrow leg press. I'll do calves on that machine. In front of it, I'll do banded air squats. Then I'll do banded Romanian deadlifts.
Romanian deadlifts. Okay.
Yeah. Right. And then I'm gonna do abs, and then I'm gonna do the whole thing again. I'm gonna do 3 rounds of this, right?
How long are you there on that? Because that's a little bit inconsiderate too.
I don't stop. I go straight through.
Okay.
And the way I look at it is I'm doing really 4 exercises on that machine.
Okay.
Right? 3 to 4 exercises on that machine, using that machine. So I get that I'm there for a little bit longer of a time, but I'm also not taking breaks. I'm going straight through, and I'm going to do probably 4 circuits and call it a day and get out of there.
Got you.
Right? There's another machine next to me that's just a different angle, same machine. There's all the squat racks are open.
Mm-hmm.
This happens to me a lot. Like the Smith machine. There's only one Smith machine in the gym I go to. If I get it, great.
You like the Smith machine? What do you use it for?
I'll use it for a lot of different things, man. Like I love doing Romanian deadlifts with it because it allows you to focus more on the movement.
Okay.
I love doing. I'll do like glute thrusts if the glute machine isn't open, where I'll just do that. I'll do one single arm like kind of almost like dumbbell like rows, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at you dropping all the language.
I'm just saying, you use a landmine for that.
Yeah, also an option. If that's not there, I'll go to landmine. If landmine's not there, I'll just do dumbbells. So that's. But see, I don't ask people to work in. Like if you guys are on it, like I'm gonna respect that.
Got it.
He comes over to me and I'm on my last round. And he goes, "Hey man, can I work in with you?" And I go, "No."
On your last round, okay.
Yeah, I'm on my last round.
Key detail.
So I'm like, "No," and he goes, "Why not?" And I said, "I'm gonna do this, and then I'm done, and it's yours. But it's gonna take me a minute to finish up." And he goes, "Come on, man, let me just work in with you." And I'm like, "No." And now I'm getting pissed off, right? Like I'm like, "No, dude, like no."
Right.
He's like, "Bro, just let me work in with you." I've got 4 plates on each side.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him. You ain't doing 4 plates, bro.
Right.
Right, and even then, you're gonna start as I'm finishing. Like, what do you do? Just wait.
Right.
So I'm like, "No, dude. Like, I will let you know when I'm done in literally like 3 or 4 minutes."
That's not that long. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he stands in front of the machine with arms crossed and just stares at me. And I just go through my workout. And when I'm done.
See what I mean? Now it's awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward. So when I'm done, I look at him. I'm like, "How many plates you want to leave on here?"
That was nice of you.
And he goes,
but also very insulting.
He goes, 2. And I go, 2 each side? He goes, "No, 2 in total."
Okay, guys.
So I take them off, right?
Very nice of you.
Right? So now 6 plates have come off this machine. I get all my stuff, put it in front of the machine. I say, "Hey, man, just to be open with you, with me doing 4 plates on each side and you doing 1 plate on each side, you realize it took you just as long as it took me to finish this up as it did for us to take the plates off."
To put it away. Yeah.
And he goes, "What's your point, dude?" And I was like, "Okay, I can't talk to this guy."
Yeah. No, message got lost in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I get your point now.
Yeah, don't ask to work in with me.
Right.
Don't.
Don't do it.
I won't do it to you. You don't do it to me.
All right, so back to this real quick about the American dream. First topic that I wanted to get into. House prices are way up. No secret to anybody.
Yeah, way up.
Nowadays, you need $120,000 to $150,000 in income to comfortably afford a home. Okay?
I don't even care about that, man. You need not only the income, but you need the down payment.
Well, that's gonna lead us right into number 2. But I mean, historically speaking, if you look at the averages of the income to house price ratios, right? Historically speaking, it averages around 5 times. Okay, for the greater portion of a long time, it was roughly 4 times. Right? Nowadays, it's 7 times the income. Right? The last time it was like this, obviously, right before the great financial crisis, right? There was another house. There was a housing bubble, right? So obviously, income has not kept up, and that's also not factoring in the fact that back in the day, there was only one person in the house working.
It's only required.
Only required, right? And it was so much easier to qualify.
Yeah. And then there was, okay, now we have a dual income house. Mommy and daddy both work.
Yes.
And now we're in the world where mommy and daddy both work, but daddy's got 2 jobs.
Exactly.
3 income households.
Right.
And you still barely get by.
Barely. I mean, especially in Southern California.
And this is not just some people.
Yeah.
This is a lot of Americans.
Yeah. So if you're feeling the squeeze, you're feeling the pinch, you're feeling like, man,
But that's
I
not
don't
the
understand.
American dream.
I know exactly. This is the dream that we've all been sold on, right? And that everyone is putting out there on social media, and it's like it makes people feel like crap that they're not there.
Oh, the people on social
and
media.
I want to be 100% honest with people.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why I got here is I got lucky. I was at the right time, right place, right?
You bought it at a time where first of all, it was a good time for you to buy when it was the right time to buy.
My first house.
Those two things coalescing are hard.
In 2015.
Yeah.
Right? And then I got very lucky in 2020, right? I only chose to move into the area that I moved because I wanted my kids in a better school district.
Even then, we were still questioning it. Remember?
We were we were on the fence. Like everyone was like, I don't know, man. I think prices might come down. It was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? And literally we just pulled the trigger because it was a decision made for my son. And
you made the decision independent of home prices and values. You're like, this is for family.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a great way to think about it, because at the end of the day, you won't ever have any regrets. But it also worked out economically.
Right. And we always say, I mean, I know for the majority of people out there, buying a home is probably going to be one of the largest investments that they ever make, even though it shouldn't be looked at as an investment.
But it is.
You should use it as a utility. Your home should be used as utility, but it works. So I would be in a majority of people's shoes too if I was looking for a home. I would not be able to afford it.
Yeah. No, I legitimately would struggle in today's environment to justify it to myself.
Right.
I don't think it makes sense.
And then number 2 in this equation, let's say you can't afford a home right now, right? Rent prices have gone up, right? Rents have increased across the nation. Right now, I don't live in a very sexy area, okay? It's the suburbs, right? There's not a lot of restaurants, nothing fancy. It's very family oriented. A lot of good schools around me, I'll say that, okay? But if you don't have a family, you're not going to want to live where I live, okay? 3-bedroom apartment right now, where I live, $4,300 a month.
Yeah.
Old, not even new.
Dude, my brother's apartment, he lives in Costa Mesa, close to Cycles Plaza. It is 1 bedroom, upstairs, downstairs, kitchen, living area, access to the parking garage, so no direct garage, right? $3,700 a month.
Insane, man. And then you wonder, you understand when people say I gotta move out of the state.
Yeah,
can't afford this anymore.
Well, and then you see these influencers who are like, I work 4 hours a day, but I live in Bali, and you're like, oh, well, yeah,
it makes sense.
Or
I live in Colombia.
Your cost of living and rent is a lot different,
And then you gotta think of let's say Gen Z, right? How much of their income is going towards rent? I mean, we've had many episodes where we go over how to start off with creating a budget for yourself and your family, right? And, your rent or your mortgage, in an ideal world, shouldn't take up more than 30% of your income, right?
Yeah, but we really got to reevaluate those numbers.
100%. We do, but we're talking about living comfortably, right? That's what we're talking about here. In an ideal world. Now, I get it. People will push the limits a little bit just to make sure they can get into a home. But how many people out there are spending 50% of their income on rent?
The majority of Americans today.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which this also feeds into, is the American dream dead? Now you can't even save enough to get ready to put down a down payment.
If it's not dead, I would say the American dream, the fact that in the ether right now, out there in the world, there is a debate which is constant and reoccurring in the market that we as Americans should not buy, we should rent, because owning a home is worth it anymore. That is a constant debate that's out there.